of Board of Health meeting to order. We have Emma Dragon, we have Peter Lorre, we have Susan Mosler. Margaret Mastrangelo is not with us tonight. Welcome, everyone. Call the meeting to order. Any comments? The minutes from last time have been circulated. Do we have any additions or deletions?
No, I think they're good. I'd
Okay,
like to make a motion to accept.
good. Accepted.
Great.
Okay. Next we have report from the health inspector. Ben is not with us tonight. However, he did inform me that he's passed his Title V exam, which is really great news.
Wonderful.
And he will be transitioning over the next month or so, however long he needs, still working with Kevin Quinlan until he gets his sea legs, and then he will be able to take over our Title V.
Wonderful.
So that's really great. Peter, do we have an update on CurrentLink?
So very briefly, we met with the Permalink people on Tuesday in the town hall. And the long and short of it is that they are apparently done building our database based upon the spreadsheets that I've sent them in terms of food establishments in town. So from my viewpoint, the next step is Permalink person is coming into the town hall again next Tuesday. And together we're going to run an outbound email campaign to the food establishments in Hadley, alerting them to the fact that they need to renew their permits for 2023. Number two, we're now digital. So what that means is that they need to fill out the form, the application form, and it doesn't come to me anymore.
Right.
It goes electronically to the software, if you will. Along those lines, we've also worked with our town treasurer to allow for electronic
That's
payment.
terrific.
Okay, so it's kind of a
Will be a huge.
yeah,
That's great.
one step for man, one step for humanity,
Right.
kind of thing. So it's only 50 years late, but so we're making progress there. Again, I haven't used the software yet. Next Tuesday will be the
All right,
first
so you'll let
time.
us know what you think. And
Yeah.
how does Ben figure into this?
So Ben, our health inspector, he's going to be using the software in a different way. He's using it. He's using the part of the software that facilitates the food inspection documentation, collection of data, so on and so forth. So Ben met separately with the Permalink people with regards to his specifications that he's looking for. When I spoke with Ben earlier today, it sounded like they were going to meet most of his specifications for demands. There's still a couple of areas that will require some more work on Permalink's side.
All right, but so Ben is working directly with CurrentLink.
Right.
Okay.
So because again, he's using it completely differently from what
That's real.
I'm doing,
Right.
completely differently. That doesn't mean that he won't access the database that we have of existing permitted businesses in town. So anyway, so he's working directly with Scott on that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like now two paths,
Okay,
one product.
good.
So that's kind of where we're at.
It's nice
Thank
that
you.
there's movement there.
Budget update. Do we have any updates to the budget?
Yeah. So I sent to you guys, I think it was last week, my first draft of the budget that needs to be submitted to Carolyn and to Linda, the town treasurer. It's due next week. So what I did is, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it or not, but essentially what I did is I kept everything level from the current fiscal year with a few exceptions, as we discussed last time we met. That being, our inspector would be, we would budget for 40 hours a week instead of 18.
Okay.
Would budget 10 hours a week versus 7 for
What's that?
me. we will, budget 10 hours
Right.
versus 7 for
Yeah.
me. We put money back into the budget for community health. We put in $1,000. Um, we still have money in there for the nurse. We never took it out. So that's in there.
And we have conference, we have education.
Uh,
500 for education, right?
yes, we do. Um,
That's what I read.
so is there anything else at this point?
So that would go for any trainings
Mhm.
that. Ben
Conferences,
wanted to
trainings,
do. Yeah,
certifications, or us too, like if we wanted to be
Yeah.
a MABA board member or MHOA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for tuition/meetings, we put aside
Do you think we should make that
$1,000.
more than 500? Are there stuff that I mean, we have a
It's like-
couple of organizations that we belong
So
to, but,
I put in $1,000.
I think that's more,
oh, for, education, good.
Okay, yeah,
perfect.
that's good.
Okay, good,
because
okay.
that'll cover both.
Cause
the
Ben would probably
employee
wanna
and-
do some.
Yeah.
Yeah, trainings.
Yeah,
and
I don't
stuff.
know.
He may wanna go on a well training, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? But so in any event, if you have nothing to add at this point,
I don't.
I'll send the first draft to
I'm
Linda
excited
You
about
okay
it.
with
and to
it?
Carolyn.
Yeah, send it out.
Again, this is just the first
Yep.
Good.
step.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm sure Emily, you've gone through this before. It's going to be like 5 or 6 different iterations before we get it approved. So,
Yep.
but it's due next week. I want to get it out tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Because next week's going to be a little busy.
Most appreciated.
Okay.
BioBot update, did you work to get that up on the website? Were you gonna work with Margaret on that?
I don't remember that as an action item for me, but I could.
Can you do that? It's not an emergency, but I would love to, I think it's important to get that data.
Yep.
Put up on our website.
I'll make that an action item for me.
Okay, thanks, Emma.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about it last time. She was gonna work with Alex on that, or
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't, I,
Yeah, talk to Margaret and see if we can do that. We did offer a job, the nursing job. And I'm trying to look at the name.
It's Debbie something, right?
Yeah.
I love that she already has boots on the ground here and seems excited.
Debbie Marquis is her name. Debbie is, Emma, you were not available she has a lot of experience, public health experience kind of, running agencies, larger scale,
Nice.
a lot of geriatrics experience,
Super.
and is basically reached a point in her career where she wants to downsize.
Yeah.
And she's very excited about the job, and I think we both thought she was terrific.
Awesome.
And Jen has cleared her. I believe she's already signed on to the job, and she is going to meet with Haley
So good.
because the two of them
Very
need
collaborative
to
position.
be able to
So when does she actually start?
after the first of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she and Haley will, collaborate. You're a public health nurse person. You, at some point when you have time, you can meet her,
I
and
can't wait to meet her.
if you have any ideas, or,
Yeah.
we basically just told her generally to work with Haley and, have a presence here,
Mhm.
a regular, twice a week for certain blocks of time, and to be circulating
Yep.
and find out what the needs are, and,
Well, I'm
if people
excited.
want to talks or presentations or.
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah,
say. So
so
about that.
I had talked to her about that, so I think Haley will probably have some ideas on that as well. So, yeah, if you, whatever you wanna, initiative you wanna take with it, that would be really, terrific. I do wanna hear from you, the plastic bag ban update. I'm just trying to think if okay, I did get, another 1,500 test kits from the state.
Holy moly.
They expire the end of January.
Okay.
I brought them here to the senior center, and Shane has a group that put the stickers on them, the
Excellent.
new expiration stickers. Can you distribute some? Can I bring some by your
Yes,
place?
that'd be fine.
Can you take
Um,
like 200 of them?
Sure. I know the school, I believe, I'm not sure if the school distributed some before Thanksgiving, it was well received. And then I know we've done some other community organizations and
Yeah, and if you
people are
know,
really thoughtful and it's a great time of year because people are congregating
right,
more.
churches is
Mhm.
they can go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no, any place that people, I'm gonna bring some up to Jen because she gives them
Yeah.
out in the town hall.
Wonderful.
And I'll reach out, the library wants more,
Yeah.
and I'll check with
And Patrick.
DPW, but if you know of anybody, I'll have them, I keep them at my house because we don't have any storage space, but
Yes.
if you can think, any of you can think of any place where they would be,
Used.
easy to, is there some kind of event at the Hadley School at Hopkins, something about lighting the,
That already happened.
That
Oh.
already happened.
I missed
We
that.
were there.
It's on
We-
YouTube.
We were both there. There was a
Uh,
fire truck.
are there any other events, holiday events planned in town?
Usually,
We'll actually take some because we're gonna be doing a lot of sporting events
Right.
coming
A lot
up.
of
Sporting
sporting.
events coming up.
Oh,
Um,
good. So how do
So
I get those
And
to you?
they're all
Ron?
indoors.
you can just give them to Peter and Peter can email me.
yeah.
Okay,
I wonder,
Yeah.
Greg, Park and Rec, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I immediately think of like the high school winter concert that's coming up on the 21st, which lots of families and students will be there.
oh, so wait, I can go and give them out. When
Yeah.
is that?
Well, I'm going as a
Oh, can I
parent.
give them to you
Yes.
to? I did that at the town meeting and people were very happy to take them and you just tell them, take as many as you, okay, so will you remind me to bring some by your house
Yeah.
before then? Cause I forget.
Yeah, it's a good point because again, this time of year, people are congregating. People
Oh,
are coming
yeah.
in
No,
into
this is,
town and going out of town.
Well,
Or-
and I think even like for me, quick glance at the trends with the BioBot data, it was a very anticipated and expected spike in the wastewater post Thanksgiving,
yeah,
which is also really what we've seen community wise in terms of illness,
Right.
not just with COVID, but RSV, flu, all the respiratory stuff
yeah.
that's
So it's just
shaking
gonna,
around.
it
So
will continue to increase through the holiday
Yeah.
season. So the more,
it's
I
wonderful.
asked for the test kits. I think the more we give
Mhm.
out, it's a service that the state's offering them for free and we should take advantage of it. So anyway,
I'm excited about that.
okay. Peter, I thought there's not a key for me.
There is not. Kevin took the last one.
Okay, I thought you had another one.
I did. But he took the last one Tuesday when he was in.
Okay.
So I can order one. I can't tell you.
Yeah, can
I
you
can't
do
tell you
that?
what's
Just,
gonna
I
arrive.
just do it. I feel a little uncomfortable not having a key to the
Right.
office.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I think I might.
that would be
I
great.
think it's in there.
Okay. Plastic bags, Dan. Okay.
Yeah. So I really don't have a lot because I've been busy with work and stuff.
Yeah.
But I believe the next step, I think we should obviously maybe Peter have a discussion with Carolyn, just in terms of where we're gonna go with it, in terms of mobilizing the bylaw as it's written, so we can get those official waivers, so we can accept them. So I think the proposal is that we need to post that we would like to have a public hearing, about the plastic bag ban, and discuss I forget the specific wording of it, but how to,
Apply for a waiver or something like that.
yeah.
So is this the Board of Health's responsibility?
Mhm. In the bylaw, it's written as the Board of Health.
Well, giving the waiver, evaluating and giving the waiver is the Board of Health responsibility, but the select board, they're the ones who have created and voted through this initiative. I mean, shouldn't they be in charge of some kind of the meeting?
Well, so let me pull up the Google Drive folder that I made for this issue. Where the hell? Plastic bag ban. So when I look specifically at the bylaw, at the bottom, no, my thing's not scrolling because that's fun. Here I highlighted it. It talks about that the bylaw is enforced by the town administrator or their designee, so that's not us. But here in terms of hardship deferrals upon written application, of the Board of Health after a public hearing, the Board of Health may defer application of any section of this bylaw for up to 1 year.
Right,
So
so,
that's written that we're having a
right, so
hearing.
basically, the town hall is responsible for enacting the plastic bag ban, for getting information out to the businesses,
Mhm.
for policing.
Correct.
And the Board of Health is responsible for evaluating if people apply for a waiver,
Right.
which they can get for up to a year.
Correct.
We're the ones who do that.
Correct.
So, I mean, it would seem to me that the town should be having the open meeting so people can come, businesses can come and ask their questions about it. And at that time, they could be instructed how they would apply for a waiver.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, certainly I'm only reading this as my own thing. The way I read it is that the Board of Health has the hearing, but I think it certainly warrants a discussion with Carolyn.
Well, we would have the hearings
Right.
when people wanted a waiver.
Mm-hmm. And I think we've already gotten communication from one person from a ministry organization that they're interested in a
you-
waiver.
Or do you have any bandwidth to discuss this with Carolyn
Yeah.
and see? I mean, what I don't, what I don't want is I don't want the responsibility for this plastic bag ban to fall into the Board of Health.
Yep.
And I think there's a danger, I sense that there's a danger of that happening.
Mm.
I have not seen town hall I have not seen any proactive
Right.
measures, meetings, announcements, on the part of the town to work with the businesses, to let them know what's coming and to let them know what the process is.
Mhm.
And while we're a part of that process, I don't think it's appropriate for us to be the ones leading the initiative.
Mm. I think the concern from people who would probably be approved for a waiver is that they're worried about not being approved and then all of a sudden something happening and being fined or whatever. I think that's the worry.
Yeah,
But I hear you and I agree with you.
So just to clarify in my own little brain, um, it sounds like we being the town government has not reached out to
right,
the local establishments
right,
to explain, okay, here's what it is. It's starting January 1st. Oh, by the way, here's
Correct.
how you go about requesting a hardship
waiver.
Wait,
defer.
deferment, that's the way it's
Yeah,
worded.
hardship defer. So none of that has happened.
Right,
Other than people who are very savvy with town stuff and probably attended the town meeting
Right.
and were part of the discussion, people who are in the know.
that's a pretty small percentage
Yeah.
of businesses.
Correct, right.
So,
Yeah, so I think step one is having that discussion with Carolyn in
Right.
terms of
Right, so-
where are we in this
so-
story?
so
and
you-
setting up
So are you doing that or am I doing?
appropriately and
I don't know.
setting up boundaries,
Okay.
like what is appropriate for us to do.
Okay. So,
I mean, I spoke with Jane about 3 weeks ago, expressing my concern that nothing had gone out and, I just, I can't. I mean, we have many things that we are in charge of and that we're responsible for here on the Board of Health, and I don't see this as one of them, and I don't want it to be put on our plate.
So I mean, you had a conversation with Jane, or was there any updates or no?
No,
Nothing.
no. And again, I would say again, our job on the Board of Health is to review hardship
deferrals.
And that's it.
deferrals. That's our job.
Yep.
And we will do it. We'll figure out
Yep.
what criteria to use, and it will be public, what the criteria are. I mean, we're not gonna, we'll be very transparent,
Correct.
in the process, and am I thinking you'll be able to, work us through that.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
our piece of that pie.
Yep.
And the rest of it is not our piece of the pie.
100%.
I would like for us to be ready,
Yep.
but I don't want us to have to take on more than that.
Understood. Okay.
Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
Comments, rebuttals, thoughts? I
I-
mean, I'm welcome to it all.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
it's-
the only thing I'm thinking is more of a statement than a question. I think I'm envisioning if somebody applies for a hardship referral, that you guys, the board members, would discuss that in one of our meetings.
Mhm.
Would we invite, or would you invite the party that's
Yeah, I think there's gonna
requesting
be a
the
whole process
Mhm.
that Emma will, delineate. And yes, we'll be transparent. We'll meet with, whatever is appropriate.
Mhm.
We're not gonna huddle in the corner and decide, who we grant something to and who we
Right.
don't. So
Well, yeah.
I'd like a clear set of criteria so that,
Yep.
there's no chance for us to be biased
Yep.
or,
Yeah, and it
Right.
says the Board of Health may require the applicant to provide additional information to that permit or deferment,
Right.
whatever it's called. So I think part of that would be presenting to the board.
right, and there's a whole hearing process. So
Well, I think this hearing is just once
Okay.
to make the deferment process go live. Not that we have to have a public hearing for each person that's applying
Okay.
for it.
So it'd be a public hearing inviting the town. Oh, okay.
Inviting them,
The Board of Health needs to do that?
the public hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll
So
figure
anyway,
it out.
talk to Carolyn, figure out
Yeah.
what we need to do, and we'll set up the meeting, once we have a sense of our process.
Yep.
We'll do that. I mean, I'm,
It's a great learning opportunity.
yes, exactly.
Getting me back in the saddle.
Thank you for all of your, work on that. Do you have Ben's email there?
I do in my email.
Can you email Ben and ask him, I think we had asked him before, we would like to get an update from him on charges for re-inspections.
Mm,
We asked him,
for if they didn't have
people who have failed
inadequate
twice,
primary
haven't-
inspections
we
and
were
then
gonna-
re-inspection.
if he has to go back a third time and a
Yep.
fourth time and a fifth time, we wanted to have some kind of a fee schedule set up for
Right.
that. And he's busy, so I don't want to stress him out, but I'd like to get that at some point, because I think he's been in that situation a few times, and I'd like
Mhm.
For them.
to
Yep.
get that money.
There always tends to be themes.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we have any other business? Go ahead, Peter.
Permits.
Oh, permits. Okay.
Permits. So all of these are renewal. So I'll just go through them
Yeah.
quickly. So Gibbs Oil, they're renewing for food.
which I always think is so funny because it's now the mobile station,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's always still been the
What
Gibbs
is
permit.
this?
yeah.
The mobile station
Yeah.
or which
Is
is
it
it
mobile now or
66?
Yeah, I think
It was 66
yeah, I
and
think
now it's mobile now.
Yeah, but
I mean, 20 years ago it was Gibbs.
It was what?
Gibbs.
GIBBS.
Okay.
But but their application came in as Gibbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
They have all their
good.
documentation and so on and so forth. So that's number one. This is I need to fix this one, but we received an application from Four Seasons Wine and Liquor on Route 9.
Yeah.
They want to renew their tobacco license or permit. I just need to tweak something on this, but they're all, again, it's a renewal. They paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've sent
They're
us the
always
documentation.
good.
Shouldn't be a problem there.
And they always
Um,
pass their things well.
This one, we're still waiting for information, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. Genji Sushi.
Oh, that's in Is that in Whole Foods?
It's
That's in Whole Foods.
right, it's in Whole Foods now. They're renewing, they sent, again, all their documentation,
Good,
serve
yeah,
safe, so on and
They're
so forth.
very thorough.
They paid, and Walmart, they paid us, for food that is, sold in their store. Again, piles of documentation. Again, they've paid the
They
new.
have whole people that just do that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then Pulse
Cafe.
Cafe on
Yeah.
Route 9, this side of Route 9. Again, it's just a renewal.
Great.
Again, they sent all the
They're usually
documentation.
really-
So if you can vote on those before you do, just let you know, we should have another one coming in tomorrow or Monday from Home Depot. And then another one from somebody reached out to me.
Marshalls,
One of the
Target.
big ones. Who the heck
TJ.
was it?
We should have like
Yeah.
150 of them coming in.
Yeah, but there's two that have reached out to us
Right.
because they hadn't heard anything from
Right.
us yet. So we just need to make sure that we leave space on the agenda now for at least the next 2 or 3
Yeah.
meetings
Yeah.
because they're going to come in fast
They
and
sure are.
furious. So, but anyway, so those 5 that I mentioned, if you guys can vote on those.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
Second,
Second.
accept that.
Good.
Good.
Accepted.
200.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
What should we do about meetings
Mm-hmm.
moving forward?
We have one on the books for the 22nd.
The 22nd.
Yeah, the next one is December 22nd. We don't have
Okay.
anything yet for January.
All right. Should we put one for the 5th?
For those permits, is that what you're thinking?
That's just every 2 weeks, so we get these
Yeah, yeah.
permits.
So January 5th.
Put that here. Okay, so we have the 22nd and then the 5th.
We are getting things done.
The other thing that we are moving forward, I'm gonna be out of town. I'm hoping to be out of town from the middle of January to the end of February. So, I don't know if we want to do hybrid, if that's possible, or you and Margaret could certainly manage quite well without me. So let's think
We'll
about
think about
what you think works best.
Sure.
So Alex, can Susan participate in the
Mhm.
meetings remotely
Mhm.
using whatever we're using now?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I can participate remotely. How does that work?
You would go on Zoom.
Oh,
Right.
there's a Zoom link?
So I would definitely go to see Jennifer in the select board office and
Oh,
request
can
a
you
Zoom link.
pull your mask down. I can't understand.
Okay. Yeah. So I would definitely have Peter or Ben reach out to Jennifer in the select board office to set up a Zoom link for it.
So we've done it with the Russell School Committee that I'm on.
Mhm.
We've done it several times where
Okay.
there's some people on
All right.
in person with
Right.
the owl.
Yep.
So, or do you
And-
feel okay with, if we did, okay.
We
So-
we did Zoom
So when we,
earlier this year.
so when we have our January 8th, oh, no, November
12th. Is that the week? No, that was the
Fifth.
week of 19th.
When we have our January 5th meeting, we will pick when our next few meetings are, and
Sure.
then somebody will interact with Jennifer. Okay,
That sounds
that's
great.
good. I mean, I have no problem doing the
Yeah,
meeting.
I deal with Jennifer every day. So
Okay.
Oh, she
What's
called
happening
me.
with our emails?
Oh, she called me today and said the logins were ready and I have to call her back.
Oh,
But
okay,
then
no-
today was a while, my day went sideways at work.
So when that happens,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you to help me set that up here on my,
Oh, golly, on your Apple thing.
yeah, my computer.
Ugh. I'm a
so
PC
you need
gal.
to call Jen.
I like my
You need to call
Apple.
Jennifer.
I need to call Jennifer.
Yeah.
Although the
For
PC.
yours, because
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to know what your
Right.
logins are.
Right.
Right,
So each one of you have to
right.
call.
So
Yeah.
now that, to use that, you have to go into that Microsoft,
It's probably an Outlook email.
what is that?
yeah, it's gonna be Outlook, and it's gonna be, you're going through,
You'll,
Air. That's 365.
deer in the headlight. Okay.
I've just been doing formatting all
Okay.
day and
And,
some programming.
okay, so I'm just going through, so you're gonna email, did you send Ben a little email to remind him? Great, okay. Do we have any other,
I have nothing, I'm good.
This is like a meeting for the books. 7:30.
I have nothing.
Seditious.
all right, well, I guess we will adjourn the meeting.
Great, and I'll send out the